November's coming up fast, and you know what that means. A whole slew of new games. And this year's been good. Frankly, October, November, December, that's the primetime stretch for the gaming public. So I'm excited for what's coming. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, the top 10 new games of November 2023. Without wasting any time, starting off at number 10, it is the Invincible. So, not a lot of games are adaptations of novels, and I'm not going to pretend that I know a lot about the 1964 novel The Invincible. I know it's Polish. I know Starward Industries, the developer, is also Polish. I know The Witcher is another example of a Polish developer adapting a Polish novel with good results, but this is nothing like The Witcher. With a vast swath of influences listed from Alien Isolation to Firewatch, a kind of retro-futuristic Fallout look. I mean, on idea alone and what this game looks like, it is intriguing to say the very least. Very orange color palette. You're not on Mars, you're on a planet called Regis 3, and you're searching for missing crew members and dealing with Alien Isolation listed as an inspiration, some kind of AI monster hunting you, right? And there's a lot going on here, and the narrative looks interesting. They have a whole book to actually pull from, so if it all comes together, this is gonna be fantastic. I'm pretty excited for it. The Invincible is landing on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC November 6th. At number 9 is The Day Before. Yes, The Day Before is allegedly coming out. This is one of those, is it really coming out release dates? There has been some information in recent days about this open world MMO survival game where there is some alleged movement in terms of they won a lawsuit that allows them to keep their name. There's a rumor that it's going to get delayed till December, but as of now, this game's coming out November 10th. And it's a game that, when it was announced, was pretty friggin' impressive. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lot less impressed with it now that I've seen Alan Wake 2. And also, it's not like they've put out footage of this game that really feels groundbreaking in any way. Graphically, yes, it's pretty, but it's also kind of empty, at least what we've seen so far. And they've been somewhat secretive throughout the development process, understandably so, I guess. It seems like they may not have been sure that they were ever going to have the name The Day Before. And when they finally won their lawsuit, it triggered some activity. So, to be fair, it may be that they feel empowered now. We'll see, though. The Day Before is allegedly coming to PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC November 10th. At number 8 is Like a Dragon Gaiden, a game that, well, basically continues the Yakuza series, which has been continued as a JRPG, but also injects another variable. So as we know, Judgment and Lost Judgment take place in the same world, timeline, and place as most of the Yakuza games. World and timeline, all of the Yakuza games. And Like a Dragon Gaiden is kind of a branch sequel of Yakuza 6, where Kiryu has faked his death and is working as an agent for the Daidoji faction. And in all honesty, this looks a lot like Judgment. Maybe not fully like it. Like, imagine Judgment, except you're a secret agent, kind of, but also still kind of a gang guy. You're definitely not on the side of the law in this one, but still. Considering The Man Who Erased His Name, Judgment, and now the Like a Dragon, and following that, Infinite Wealth games are all kind of just continuing the story of Yakuza 6 in their own way. I'm kind of excited how all of these are eventually going to converge, because I feel like that has to happen eventually. I don't know, these are all really good games, and of course I'm looking forward to more Kiryu. Duh. I love Yakuza, or Like a Dragon as it's now called, and I like that they've branched it out to have different gameplay styles and playing for different sides of the law / factions, etc. Basically, there's nothing I can possibly complain about here. I love this world. It's coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC November 9th worldwide. And number 7 is Star Ocean: The Second Story R, a full remake of Star Ocean: The Second Story, a PlayStation 1 game. Now, I think this is interesting just based on aesthetic alone. So, you might think, based on what they're doing here, that the original PlayStation game was sprites on 3D backgrounds. And, that's a normal assumption, but it's actually not true. The original Star Ocean: Second Story is an entirely 2D game. There were quite a few sprites on 3D backgrounds type games at the time, but Star Ocean: Second Story is actually not one of those. Now, that being said, the battle system in the original Star Ocean: Second Story is that, and it's probably why people have this type of memory oriented around the game, despite the fact that it had relatively small amounts of the game in this format. It really stuck. This being said, it's a drastic jump in fidelity in terms of PlayStation versus current background capabilities for this game. And although it definitely feels familiar if you remember those battles from the original game, it is leaps and bounds beyond it. Now, Star Ocean: The Second Story is a fantastic science fantasy JRPG from the 90s, and it brings with it everything you could possibly imagine from that genre and time. I'm excited. I really look forward to playing this game again. I love particularly mid to late 90s JRPGs. Star Ocean: The Second Story R is coming to the PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and PC November 2nd. And number 6 is the Talos Principle 2, the follow-up to the first-person puzzle game that frankly came out quite a while ago, almost a decade, 9 years ago in 2014. I guess the best way to describe Talos Principle is a philosophy puzzler. A lot of the stuff that you know from Portal exists in the Talos Principle, but in terms of its scope of narrative, it's a lot heavier than Portal. And this looks like a big jump up from the original Talos Principle. First off, it's a lot prettier for reasons that are probably obvious. It's been a decade. But even for people who don't love the narrative, Talos Principle was a good puzzle game. And to be frank, I'm looking forward to more of that. Now, I'm not saying that the story is bad or anything. I actually like the story quite a bit. But even just as a puzzle game, Talos Principle was top notch. Talos Principle 2 is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on November 2nd. And number 5 is Persona 5 Tactica, a game that, just to be frank, is a little confusing in terms of what it wants to be. So let me lay it out. It's not Fire Emblem. I know that's probably what people immediately think when they think JRPG goes tactical. It's actually a lot closer to XCOM, and for my money, that's a good idea. It is significantly more cartoony than even Persona 5. I've seen even a lot of Mario and Rabbids comparisons, which, Mario Rabbids, awesome. Great sort of XCOM type tactical game. Lots of its own ideas as well. Also very different aesthetic, obviously. Persona 5 is a world that just the more narrative you can get out of it, the better. It's really, really a dense, enjoyable world. And I'm excited to jump back into it. And while I, of course, love Persona 5's battle system, I'm actually kind of looking forward to playing it as an XCOM type game. Persona 5 Tactica is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC November 17th. And number 4 is RoboCop Rogue City, a game that I think people have been kind of confused about because, first of all, first-person shooters are often about challenge, and RoboCop is kind of, an unstoppable badass in every possible way. He's also kind of a lumbering giant, but if you've played the demo for this game, it is actually extremely fun. For whatever reason, they really leaned into everything that makes RoboCop, and it works. It's a very different first-person shooter, honestly. You are slow, you're lumbering, you're a tank, you can absorb bullets, tons of damage before it actually has any real effect on you. Your weapons are crazy overpowered, and, it's fun as hell. It's also gorgeous. It's an Unreal Engine 5 game, and it shows. Honestly, there's not really, I think, a lot that I can do to describe it. If you've played the demo, you know what this game is about. It's a very different first-person shooter that sounds like it shouldn't work, but it does. If the whole game is as good as that demo, I'm so in on RoboCop Rogue City. It's landing on next-gen consoles, so PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and also on PC November 2nd. And number 3 is Football Manager 2024. everything about football, but playing football itself. And by football, I mean soccer for all of the Americans watching. Sega is bringing us a game that is selling itself on quality of life upgrades and the obviously roster changes. That's of course a big deal. I mean, if you're unfamiliar, there's a lot going on in a Football Manager game. You're talking about everything from team strategy on the field to finances. Football Manager is a management sim, and it is a deep, granular one at that. Football Manager is landing on pretty much everything from Switch to the PlayStations to the Xboxes to PC November 6th. And number 2 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the third in the reboot series for Modern Warfare. Continuing the story, obviously. Nobody is going to think that that's not happening. But also, Call of Duty isn't specifically about the story. Obviously, we enjoy the Call of Duty campaigns here, but there's a lot more. In terms of multiplayer, all 16 maps from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 will be available. Zombies is back. This one is open world, apparently. I don't know if that is going to amount to any really significant differences in what is a Horde Zombies mode. Call of Duty Zombies is always fun. They are changing it up a little. Apparently, it's more structured like DMZ mode in Warzone rather than the round-based zombies that we've seen in previous games. I'm not 100% on whether I consider that a welcome change or not. DMZ is fun, though. I don't know. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It's huge. It's a big thing. It's a gaming staple. And as much as these games feel stereotypical sometimes, and obviously we've seen a million of them at this point, they're usually good. So, yeah, Modern Warfare 3 is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC on November 10th. And finally, at number 1, it's Super Mario RPG, a full remake of truly a very well-beloved Super Nintendo RPG that, yeah, I'm excited for. This was an RPG that came out in my opinion, the heyday of RPGs, and it was among the best. Honestly, Nintendo was really smart. They were just like, you know what? Who makes the best RPGs? It's Square. Let's have them make the Mario one. And they did, and it was great. Square didn't slouch on the Mario part of Mario RPG either. A large part of Mario RPG is basically top-down platforming, and it's all fun. I'm really excited to see how this game looks and plays with modern sensibilities. Obviously, they're keeping it very, very similar to the original release in terms of mechanics. It's still isometric, and I think that's the right way to go. That said, everything looks much more full of life and enjoyable than ever before, and it was a pretty game on the Super Nintendo, to be frank. This is, of course, a Switch exclusive, so everybody with a Switch who wants to play Super Mario RPG is going to be doing it on November 17th. Couple of bonus games for you. Naruto, X Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm, Connections. That's a mouthful of a name. It's a 3D action fighting game. It looks pretty damn kinetic and action-packed. That's going to be landing on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC on November 16th. Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story. To be frank, a pretty interesting development. A single-player narrative adventure based on Nunu from League of Legends. That's coming to the Xboxes, the PlayStation, the Nintendo Switch, and PC November 1st. The Switch port of Hogwarts Legacy, which, I mean, we've seen Hogwarts Legacy on like the PS4 versus the PS5 and PC version. So, I mean, I'm kind of impressed that it's even going to be on Switch, but still, Hogwarts Legacy is hitting the Switch the 14th. And finally, Tintin Reporter Cigars of the Pharaoh. Again, that is being touted as an extremely faithful reproduction of the Tintin comic. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know. I'm not exactly a big Tintin fan, but I've seen this game described as kind of like a Telltale game, except for a lot happier. So I think for fans of Tintin, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's coming to the PlayStation, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC November 7th. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.